Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review on the book that everyone is talking about, and that book is Allegiant by Veronica Roth, which is the third book in the Divergent series. This is what it looks like in case you've been living under a cave for the past year. Yeah. That's it. So just to give you guys a little notice before I begin this review, there's not going to be any spoilers of Allegiant in this book review. Totally spoiler free. I mean, if you haven't read Divergent or Insurgent, I probably wouldn't watch this because I need to provide some background information to explain what's going on. But other than that, if you're in the middle of reading the book or if you haven't started it yet, keep watching. It's fine. It's cool. I'm going to be super cryptic and super vague and yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. So let's get to it. So for those of you guys who don't know, Allegiant picks up literally right where Insurgent left off. We're kind of just in the middle of chaos. There's just chaos everywhere. The faction lists are like, you know, taking control. They're so pissed that they've been in poverty for so long. They're, you know, using this whole opportunity of just chaos to kind of take over. And then there's kind of this new rebellion force group thing called the Allegiant, who trying to take matters into their own hands. And then there's Triss and Four and the whole gang who are still just kind of shocked by this whole revelation that there's this world outside their city limits. And of course they're going to take matters into their own hands and do what they think is right. So that's where the book is going. I hope that was vague enough. Yeah. So I'm just going to say it. I didn't really love this book. I wanted to love this book so much. Divergent is one of my favorite books. Insurgent is one of my favorite books. I wanted this to be one of my favorite books. And honestly, it just wasn't. I didn't love it, and being totally honest, I didn't really even like it either. I will explain. For those of you who want to punch me in the face right now because you love this book so much, please don't. Just let me explain. First of all, there were a couple things I did like about this book. I liked how when I opened the book right away, I found out that we were going to be reading from both Triss and Four's point of view. That was just kind of an added bonus. I was really looking forward to just kind of getting into both of their heads. And I was just kind of looking forward to seeing, you know, what Four was doing when Triss wasn't around and what Triss was doing when Four wasn't around. Because, you know, as much as they love each other, they're not together 24/7. So I really thought that that was a good idea, and I was looking forward in the beginning to where that was going to go. And the other thing I was really looking forward to that I actually kind of enjoyed about this book was the whole idea of what is outside the fence. Without giving anything away, and as being vague as totally possible, I actually enjoyed when you found out, you know, what was kind of going on outside the city limits, and when we got a little bit more information. I thought it was a good twist. I thought it was a good direction to take the book in, and overall, I thought it opened up a lot of doors of opportunity. Is that something I can say? Is that grammatically correct? You guys get what I'm saying. I thought it offered a lot of possibilities. So I was kind of excited. I was pumped for the beginning. But then when I was like thinking of things to say in this review, I kind of realized that that was the only thing I really liked. The middle of the book to me is just kind of like this blur. I don't really feel like anything really happened. There were definitely, you know, some big events, some, you know, tension and betrayal or whatever. There were definitely some, you know, things that happened, but for me, it just, when you compare what happened in Divergent, you know, with like the whole initiation and, you know, people betraying each other and dying, and when you compare that with Insurgent, with so many people sacrificing their lives and, you know, betraying each other and stabbing each other in the back, not literally, I mean, maybe literally, I don't really remember everything that happened in Insurgent, but you guys get what I'm saying. A lot happened throughout the first two books in this series, and for me, not a lot happened in Allegiant, like in the middle. The book just kind of dragged on. And I felt like alternating from Triss and Four's point of view, even though I said I liked that in the beginning, I felt like towards the middle, that just helped the book drag on a little bit more. Because honestly, the way they speak and their tone of voice is just really, really similar. So it just didn't really offer a lot of variation. You know, sometimes I'd be reading a paragraph and I'd be like, who is talking? Because they didn't have a different tone of voice. I'd have to look for a he or she pronoun before I could like figure out what was going on. So to me, the middle was just kind of this build up to this big ending, and I was excited for that. Like I don't mind build up as long as the ending is worth it. And to me, the ending was not worth it. In fact, to me, the ending was kind of like a cop-out. I didn't like it at all. I admire anyone who finished the book and said that was a great ending, because I honestly hated it. Yeah, that sounds really harsh, but I just know I didn't like it. I really wanted to, but I just couldn't. I just felt like there were so many directions this book could have gone in, and the one it did go in, I just didn't like. When I finally finished the book, I felt like we were set up for this huge thing in Insurgent, you know, with that big cliffhanger, and we were just set up for this big thing to happen in Allegiant, and then maybe Veronica Roth kind of realized that she didn't have a lot to work with, or there wasn't a lot to do, so she just kind of made this big shock value ending, and I just didn't like it. Like I said, I think it was only for shock value. There was definitely some like symbolism and emotional meaning behind what happened, but I don't really care. I felt a little cheated, honestly, after reading all these books and, you know, bonding with these characters and going through all these things that happened with them. For the book to end in the way it did, I just felt like the journey wasn't really worth it. And I'm really sorry to say that, because I loved Divergent, I loved Insurgent, but this was just not the way I would have ended Allegiant, and so I would say how much you like this book is probably really dependent on how attached to the characters you are and how high your expectations are for this book. And I had really high expectations, and I was really attached to the characters, so by the time I finished the book, it just didn't, it wasn't a satisfying ending for me, and I just wasn't pleased. So that is my spoiler-free review, which kind of turned into a rant. So I'm sorry about that. But please, in the comments below, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from someone who actually enjoyed the ending and was like, that was awesome, because I admire you. I really wanted to love it. And the only thing I do ask is that if you leave me a comment, just keep it spoiler-free. Be really vague and cryptic. I'll get what you're saying. Trust me. I got you. I'll understand what you're saying. I just don't want someone to be browsing through the comments and see a spoiler that they didn't mean to see, and then the world explodes. So please try to keep it spoiler free, but other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm going to come out with a review that has spoilers so we can kind of discuss this book a little further, maybe over the weekend, so look forward to that. So that is it. Thank you guys for sticking through this video. If you made it this far, you're awesome and I love you. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye!